Hi friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be a 4 looks with 4 palettes. I still have some new releases I wanted to play with and share with you. So here we are. It's going to be a lot of fun. All 4 of these have completely different themes and formulas, and I love it. I'm so excited. I get so pumped to do these videos. As I've mentioned in the past, the reason I started doing this channel was to post my silly little eyeshadow looks on the internet, and this type of video allows me to just play with so many different eyeshadows and do so many different looks, and it's such a fun creative exercise for me because I really get to take each palette for its own individual self and create various looks, and it's so much fun, so much fun. But all that to say is, just because I'm sitting here playing with these 4 palettes does not mean you need these 4 palettes. You might not need any of these palettes. Obviously, if you're looking to buy any of these, I hope my video can be helpful for you in making that decision. I will have everything linked down below for you, as well as any discount codes if I have any. I do have a code with all 4 of these brands. battybean will save you money on their site, but again, no pressure. Don't feel pressured to buy anything. Don't let makeup FOMO get to you. There's a never-ending chain of releases, so we can't possibly keep up with everything. If I didn't get sent palettes, I would not have nearly the amount of palettes I currently have. It's just not realistic. So even if you're not looking to buy something, I hope that my video can just serve as entertainment or maybe inspiration for you to pull something out of your collection that you already have that maybe gives you similar vibes to a look that I did. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about all these palettes. I'll showcase all of them, give you swatches, all that good stuff, and I'll do all 4 looks, 1 look with each palette. I do also plan on doing additional looks with all 4 of these over on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. 2 of the palettes, those looks should already be up by the time this video goes up, so you can go check those out. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and talk about the 4 palettes that I'm going to be using in this video. First up is Artitude Cosmetics' newest palette. This is the Submerged palette. We have a dark, dramatic, jewel-toned, yummy, mermaidy theme. I love a purple, green, blue sort of color story. It is so gorgeous. These teals are so enchanting. Artitude has incredible formulas. I feel like the mattes are just so buttery, yummy, blendable, and the shimmers are always just astounding on the lids. I just feel so pretty every time I play with this brand's palettes, and this palette is no exception. It is gorgeous. This is a very me palette. I love this color story. And this one has already launched. I believe it launched about a week or so ago by the time this video goes up. The next palette I'm going to be talking about is the Bella Beauté Bar Come Play With Us. This one also launched recently, probably about a week ago as well. And it's what I'm wearing right now. It is just gorgeous. This is kind of their spooky holiday palette. We're taking a spooky horror movie based on The Shining and going with the very wintry sort of theme. I love it. I love a wintry vibe. I love a holiday palette. I love a spooky palette, and this is just all encompassing. It's so cool. I love the wintry blues, the piney greens, the reds, so many pretty shimmers. I also adore Bella Beauté Bar and their formulas. The mattes are just beautiful, and their shimmers are just to die for. They're so sparkly, so enchanting, and I just think this is so much fun. Next up is the newest release. This is the Nomad Cosmetics Christmas Markets palette. This is inspired by German Christmas markets, and I am so excited, so excited. I love the holiday season. I love a Christmassy palette. I love a holiday theme, and this is so fun. And I also just adore Nomad. I love what they do with their color stories. I love what they do with their different themes and locations, and this one is so much fun. I feel like this one is a very in-your-face Christmassy color story, but in a different way than that Bella Beauté Bar one. Whereas the Bella Beauté Bar one, I feel leaned more into winter tones. This one I feel is a little bit more in-your-face Christmas. There's some similarities, but different enough that I don't really find them to be repeats. I'm really excited about this marbled piney shade down here. I love these different tones and finishes. Nomad has beautiful, beautiful formulas. I feel like their mattes are very buildable and very easy to work with, very beginner friendly in my opinion. And the shimmers are just gorgeous. So many pretty sparkles, so shiny. Really excited about this one too. I feel especially for just a classic Christmassy vibe, this one feels really classic. This is the only one out of this video that hasn't launched yet by the time this video goes up. This one is launching on Monday, November 3rd at 5 p.m. EST. Again, I'll have all the details down in the description box for you. Makeup details, launch details, codes, all that good stuff. And last but not least, I have the Jolie Beauty and Ozzy Osbourne palette. This collab launched months ago. It actually launched really soon before he passed away, which is super sad, but I'm really glad this got to be out there in the world before his passing. And basically since the moment this launched, I've had so many people messaging me wanting to see me play with this, but I just did not have it at the time. Jolie Beauty's PR always comes a little bit late for me. I think they were also transitioning to have an actual US warehouse. So once that got set up, this got sent my way. So I have the Ozzy Osbourne, the Osmosis palette. This is a large one. We have a large palette like Jolie Beauty tends to do, very warm toned sort of vibes. We have like this yellowy browns into the oranges, into the reds, a couple splashes of plummy purple, very just in your face, warm color story. Probably a bit larger than I tend to prefer with palettes, but I've been pretty impressed with Jolie Beauty's larger palettes as of late. I feel like the formulas are always really pretty. The shimmers have been really stepped up. I felt like in the past they utilized a lot of satins, which is not my personal preference, so I've loved seeing that get beefed up. I'm excited to see how this one plays on my eyes. As you'll see in this video too, I'm using a lot of the eye brushes from the brush set that came with this collection that I'm very impressed with so far. They're very soft. I feel like the quality is really nice. I like the way they look. They have this really pretty sparkly handle. I've been liking these, but you'll get to see those actually in action as I'm playing with these looks. I did also get sent the Ozzy Osbourne like lip products and liquid eyeshadows, but I just haven't had great experience with Jolie Beauty's lip products in the past. And one of my friends, he expressed great interest in this collection, and he's a big Ozzy Osbourne fan, so I gave him the things that I wasn't going to use and kept the palette and the brushes for myself. But yeah, that's an overview of everything. We're gonna get into the looks now. Creates 4 very distinct looks if I have to. Imagine I'm halfway through filming the looks as I'm filming this intro, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's just get into the looks and I will give you my thoughts so far at the end of the video. Hello, I'm very excited. It's a rare, crispy fall day in Florida. I can have the windows open all day. It's one of those days where the mood is great. The serotonin has been boosted, and I get to play with makeup, which is always so fun. For look number 1, I want to dive into the Artitude Cosmetics Submerged. I've already played with this once, and I'm in love with this palette. It's beautiful. I did a really intense, vibrant teal look. I played with a lot of these teals and greens. So pretty. Today, I kind of want to do a combination. I'm definitely attracted to these like warm pinky purple, this purple shifty with the pink in it. As far as my accessory details today, this is just an old beanie. This is an old basic choker. This is an old wig from insert name here. And these earrings are from a seller out in Montana called Pokies & Co. I guess I have a couple rings as well. I got this ring at Prometheus Esoterica a few months ago in Orlando, and this ring I got at a boutique in New York years ago. So yeah, let's just hop into this look. I'm gonna prime with this DD Signature Cookie Primer to start with. This has been my primer of choice lately. Sometimes I just like to switch it up. I have like 4 primers I cycle between. If you saw my recent miscellaneous products collection and declutter video from earlier in the week on my channel, you know. But I like to switch it up from time to time, and it had been a while since I played with this one. Actually, doing that declutter kind of inspired me to pull this primer out again, and I've been loving using it again over this last like week or so. So for my main lid, I'm gonna be doing Lure in the crease, blended into Cove. So I think that's where I'm gonna start. So taking Lure, that darker kind of fuchsia on this Sigma E27, I'm just gonna take and start packing this in the inner corner. I do wanna take this maybe like halfway through the crease, but I'm not too worried about like a lot of blending just yet. I'm kind of just packing it on, sort of getting it placed. I'll work on evening it out and blending and stuff once I get a little bit further in. But yeah, just kind of taking and fluffing it through. So I do think I want that really pretty shifty shimmer to really be kind of all over my lid, honestly. Kind of something like that. It's sort of where I want to leave that to start with. So taking some of Cove now, this is a blending brush from the Ozzy Jolie Beauty brush set to get it a little bit more diffused, a little bit softer. That's looking so pretty. Artitude shadows just perform. They just perform. They work out so well. They're so beautiful. So for the lower lash, I kind of want to play with some of these blues because I haven't dove into those yet. So I want to do Unforgiving blended into Shipwreck for that lower lash line. I'm going to work on a little of that first before we dive into the shimmers. I'm going to take this little pencil brush, also from the Jolie Beauty and Ozzy brush set. And I'm just going to start fluffing that really like a good halfway on that lower lash. And I'll let some of this start fading into the lid as well, but I want the lid to stay predominantly more on that pinker end. Now taking Shipwreck on this slightly larger, but still kind of dense blending brush from the Jolie and Ozzy brush set. And I'm just gonna blend along that edge. Very like cool toned, smoky, grungified lower lash. Kind of blending in this outer corner just a little bit with that brush just to kind of fuse and connect those shades together. Going in with my Shine On Shimmer Primer now from Cleona and Bad to the Brow. Just gonna smear some of that across my lid. And I'm just gonna use my finger to kind of spread that out. So I basically want this Seduce shade all over the lid. It just looks so good. Ooh, it's so just glossy and pretty. It's just like a guarantee that Artitude shimmers are gonna look cool. Oh, I just love. This is so pretty. I feel like I don't play with these fuchsia-y type tones super often, but every time I do, I'm always just so happy with it. I'm really liking this combination with it against the blue. I'm excited to add the blue shimmer to the lower lash. I think that shimmer is astounding. That is so pretty. And actually, before I do my lower lash line shimmer, I'm gonna do my eye pencil first. Kanade just came sprinting in here. Now she's on my other chair. Sometimes if I want a very smoky lower lash, it helps me to add the like dark eye pencil in and then really blend it out with shadow. And that's kind of the effect I want rather than just placing an eye pencil in the waterline. I don't know if that makes sense. But I'm gonna take this dtla pencil from Colourpop. It's kind of like a darker smoky blue. I think it's gonna go with these lower lash colors nicely. So I'm just gonna really like smear this in here. I wasn't really sure what my waterline color was going to be. I wasn't sure if I wanted something dark or light, but as I get further into this look, I'm like, no, I want a really dark, smoky lower lash. So I'm just going to take my shadows from before. So I'm going to take Unforgiving again and just really smoke this really up into those lashes, just so I can get a really good seam from the eye pencil into the shadow and just kind of like spread and even that out a little bit. Doing the same with that Shipwreck shade, just to blend things out a little bit more before I add in that shimmer accent down here. I'm even gonna take a little bit more of Cove, that light purple that I used before, just to really blend at the very outer edge of the look, really just connecting and fusing those together. But I feel like that made such a difference, such an impact, like adding more dark and drama to the lower lash. So I wanna take some of this Nightfall shade next, and I'm gonna add some of that to the lower lash line. This is my Blend Bunny B3 brush, and I'm just going to focus this really in the front half is where I wanna start. And then as I kind of pack it on, I'm gonna scoot it further and further out. I do want this kind of not completely all over the lower lash line, but a good majority, but heavy focus in the front. And then I'm kind of just like scooting as I get further. I love this combo though, that's so good. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna take Moonlight. Moonlight's just the prettiest. It's so iridescent and lovely. I'm using a little brush also from the Jolie Beauty Ozzy Osbourne brush set. I'm just gonna load that up in the inner corner. Now let's do the brow bone too, why not? Let's live a little. Okay, added my little details. I did add a little bit of a winged liner. I added my little lash clusters, and I also added a couple little face gems just to pizzazz it up a little bit more. For lips today, I wanna do something kind of mauvey nudie-ish. So I'm gonna start with this Honey Rose pencil from Lawless. I am just gonna line and lightly fill in. Oh yeah. That's exactly the color I wanted for this look. I love this pencil. And then to pair with it, I want to add a little bit of my Libra liquid lip from Black Moon. Not a lot. I'm just going to kind of add a little in the middle and then kind of blur it out with my finger. Just for kind of a soft pinky lip. I really like that combo. I think that's pretty nice. Here is the first look complete. I love this. I love the combination of the smoky blues on the lower lash line. I love this vibrant kind of purple fuchsia sort of combo. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. It's so shiny. I feel like shiny is the word. It's a very shiny look. And I love it. But we still have more looks to come, so let's move on now to look number 2. Okay, let's get into look number 2. I want to play with the Come Play With Us palette from Bella Beauté Bar. This is so pretty. Very just like wintry wonderful. I've actually already played with this once in short form on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I played with a lot of the like bluey greens. So today I really want to play with some of this warmth. I think it's so pretty. Really attracted to this shade. There's so many pretty colors going on. Also, if you hear crows, it's another beautiful day, so my windows are open. Just embrace the ambiance if you hear it. As far as my accessory details go, this is just an old basic choker, and I totally forgot I had these red rum door earrings. I think these are Spooky Doodle Club. They could be undoubtedly mad though. I've had them for a very long time, but I was so happy. I was like, I totally forgot I had those. So that's gonna be perfect for this look. I wanna do kind of a wingy, graphic-y sort of look today. I just feel like this kind of palette calls for some drama. I'm gonna start by priming with my DD Signature Cookie Primer. The crows are going crazy right now. You know what? Some spooky ambiance for a spooky palette. Love it. So I think I wanna start with Red Rum, this matte red, and I just wanna start by adding a little bit of that shape. It's going to be very shimmer heavy, but I want to start adding that shape in there. Taking this angled brush from the Jolie and Ozzy collection, kind of starting in like the outer half of my lower lash line, and I'm just going to drag this up toward the tail of my brow, kind of like that. Then I'm going to start creating kind of my wingy shape with this red. Sort of like that, just kind of a loose little shadow wing. I'll kind of get up close to a mirror and really perfect it. Like right here's a little wonky. I could straighten that out a little bit, but this is pretty much the start. And I'm only gonna take this in about, I don't know, maybe a third to a quarter of the way in. And everything else is just gonna be shimmer magic. I'm so ready. So this is kind of where I'm at so far. I do wanna smoke out that lower lash line just a tiny bit first. So I'm just taking a little bit more of Red Rum on this like dense blending brush from the Jolie Beauty Aussie collection, and I'm just doing a little blurring along the sides of this. So pretty. I love red eyeshadow. I think it's so good. So now moving on to my shimmer, I'm going to take my Shine On Shimmer Primer from Bad to the Brow and Cleona. I'm just going to smear a little of this across my lids and tap it out so it's a nice smooth base for my shimmer to pop to its fullest potential and stay put. So I want Imaginary Friend on the outer half, and then I want this elevator shade on the inner half. I thought about keeping all the red together, but I almost like the idea of it being a little haloed with like the matte red, the other shimmer, and then the shimmer red. I just think it's gonna be a cool combo. So I have this weird teeny little flat brush from the Jolie Beauty and Aussie collection. So I'm taking Imaginary Friend on that. Ooh, that is one of those really cool dimensional like flaky shimmers. I'm just gonna use that to kind of place this on. I wanted something a little bit more small and detailed so I can really keep with this wingy shape. Ooh, that is such a pretty shade. I want this to kind of fade onto that red wing as well a little bit. Oh, this is so pretty. I like that shimmer a lot. It's so dimensional. Kind of doing a little bit of a windshield wiper to make that top a little bit crispier. I'm taking this about, I don't know, like 2/3 of the way in, leaving like this front part blank for my other red. I actually love that so much. That is such a pretty shimmer. So now I'm taking this other small flat brush from the Jolie Beauty Aussie collection and taking the elevator shade. Ooh, I love a shimmer red. Love a shimmer red. I'm just kind of finishing off this wingy shape. I love this with this like almost haloed look with the two reds and then the other shimmer in the middle. This is looking really, really cool. I'm vibing with this heavily. That is such a good metallic red. I love taking a little bit more of Imaginary Friend and just kind of fluffing that, not really fluffing, patting with my finger kind of over the edge of where that red and the other shimmer kind of meet, just so I get a really good kind of gradient of the two. Ooh, that is so good. Mouth-wateringly good. I just love that. So I do want to add the Gold Room, this really pretty gold shimmer, to the front part of my lower lash line just to add even more pizzazz. Why not? We're already here. Let's just keep going with more. Ooh, this is like another one of those like really just dimensional sparkly shimmers. Ooh, that is Sparkle City. It's kind of flying around everywhere a little bit, but I'm kind of not mad at it. I could use some extra sparkle in my life. I tell myself always. Yeah, that gold literally got like all over the place, but you know, that's fine. So for the inner corner, I'm gonna take the shade Shine right here. I love how this look came out. I think it's so pretty. I feel like it's giving grungy candy cane, spooky holiday. I think it all worked out so nicely. Okay, finished my little details. I added the Sunburst pencil. I almost said Starburst. I'm like, that can't be correct. Although Starburst isn't too not cosmic, but that makes me think of the candy. Anyway, the Sunburst pencil from Cosmic Beauty in my waterline. I just wanted to go with that gold. I added my Flutter half lashes from Bright Lashes, and I added a couple little red and gold pearls to just add some extra, you know, oomph to the look. I feel like this is technically a spooky holiday palette, and to me the like pearl pop-esque gems are very holiday to me, so it just all makes sense. And for lips, I had a realization that forever and always, I've always said that my favorite kinds of lip glosses are like clear or sheer with gold sparkle, and I honestly can't remember the last time I wore one. I feel like, is this even my favorite type of gloss anymore? Because I just don't reach for it. I feel like maybe after I finished my Invisalign last December, I've just really embraced bold lips more than I did when I was actively in Invisalign. So maybe that's why I don't wear sheer glosses as much, because I can embrace the bold lips again. But I kind of want to do a sheer gold sparkly gloss today because I just think it would be cute, and I really want the eyes to just be their own moment. So I'm going to start with the Cashmere Pencil from Melt Cosmetics. I'm just going to line and lightly fill in, just something kind of light and nudie. So now that that's kind of on there, I'm going to take my Flashy Gloss from Dose of Colors. Oh, I do still really love this. I have not worn a sheer sparkly gloss like this in a minute, I feel like. I do love this. I do love this. I love the gold shift. I feel like it's really good with this look. Oh yeah, I think that was a really good choice. I could have gone really bold and done like a bold metallic red lip, but I just didn't want red on red today. I wanted something a little more tame in comparison. Here's the second look complete. I love this. I love the way all these shimmers play together. I think it's very bold and very fun and very shiny, and it's definitely giving like grungy holiday for sure. So if you already need some holiday inspo, I think this video is going up on November 1st, and for me November 1st is Christmas 1st. Here you are, first holiday look of the season officially. It feels wrong because it's still technically October as I'm filming this, but such is the way of the way releases work, you know. But I love this. I love the way it turned out. I love that shimmer in the middle of my lid so much, and I'm honestly really astounded by this gold. Yes, it's a little bit of a messy gold, but it's so pretty and so sparkly and glitzy and just wonderful. I love the way all of this played together. I'm very happy with this look. But let's move on now to look number 3. It's time for look number 3. I'm so excited. I'm going to be diving into the Christmas Markets palette from Nomad today. Just very in-your-face classic Christmas colors. I want to do something more in like the grungy green zone. Like I maybe want to kind of pair these two together, play with something like this. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I'm thinking a halo eye. I think it'll be good. Accessory-wise, all I have is this beanie that's actually from Nomad Cosmetics. This was from the Pacific Northwest collection. They sent the merch over from that collection alongside of this palette when it arrived. So I really wanted to play with the hat too, and it's very cute. It's very soft. I'm already primed and ready to go. I primed again with the DD Signature Cookie Primer, and we're just gonna get to haloing. I think I want a smoky lower lash line, but a very just like green haloed regular eye. What am I trying to say? So I'm gonna take O Tannenbaum and I'm gonna be blending it out with Krampus, and it's gonna be good. I'm gonna use this dense little pencil brush from the Jolie Beauty Aussie brush set. And I'm gonna start by just packing this in the inner and outer corner of my lid. Not doing any blending just yet, really just placing it right here. And I'll use that other shade to blend it out. Sort of like that, just a couple little green blobs. I'm also gonna drag that green all across the lower lash line, all the way from inner to outer, because I just want a very smoked out lower lash today. I am loving that shade of green. It's so piney and so pretty. So taking that next shade, this kind of cool tone khaki brown on this small fluffy brush from the Jolie Beauty and Aussie collection, I'm just gonna start blending the edges of this. I'm gonna leave the middle as blank as I possibly can and really smoke out that lower lash line, but I just want to diffuse and blend out the edges of this green. I also want to mute it a little bit more, and I feel like kind of combining this khaki shade with this more vibrant green is gonna give it a little bit more of that grungy muted look that I'm going for. I am in love already. I'm so excited to add in my shimmers. I just get so excited about green eyeshadow. It's one of my absolute favorites. But yeah, just doing a little bit of smoking, blending, everything is just blurring out so flawlessly. It's exactly what I want it to be. I'm taking my Shine On Shimmer Primer from Cleona and Bad to the Brow, just plopping a little of that on the lid, and again, just kind of tapping it out, prepping for my shimmers. I know so far this green is very much not matching the green of the hat, but you know they aren't from the same collection, so that makes sense. But I feel like when I add some of these shimmers, I might be able to mute it down. If not, I don't care if it doesn't match. I'm gonna start with Candle Arches, this beautiful marbled shade. Ooh, yes. I love a marbled shimmer so much. This is gonna go on the inner and outer portion of my lid. just kind of blending in with those greens I already laid down. And actually, I feel like that gold accent that's in there kind of mutes it a little bit too, makes it match a little bit better. Oh, I love that. I love that. That is such an enchanting green. For the middle, I want to use almonds and chestnuts. I feel like this kind of, I don't know, just weird. Again, it's almost like a khaki brown shade. It's so pretty. I feel like that's gonna just add like a, I don't know, a grungified nature to this look. Oh, I love that. I love that, I love that, I love that. I feel like this palette has a really good richness to it. Like everything's a little bit more muted, which I'm really, really enjoying. I feel like that shade in the center made all the difference in the world. That really transformed this look. And for the inner corner, I think I want to take gingerbread. I think that's so pretty. It has such a good little shift to it. Let's see about that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The undertones and shifts in these shimmers are really, really pretty. Let me do a little brow bone highlight as well, why not? I'm really happy with these tones. I like this so much. Added in my eye pencil, I went with a brown just to like really mute this even more. This is from Rare Beauty. This is the shade True Brown. I should have known what that is called. Also added my little spiky lashes. I also added just a couple little face gems. I just took this sheet that has like these muted greens and just added 2 tiny ones in the inner corner just to, you know, spice it up. Oh, I also did add a winged liner, by the way. I've just been in such a wing mood lately. I just wanted to add a little bit of a wing, but completely unnecessary if you decide to recreate this vibe. I also want to add a brown lip because I feel like that's just going to add even more earthiness to the look. So I'm going to start with my Doom pencil from Unearthly. It's just like a really, really good dark brown. I just truly never get sick of a brown lip. It's just always so good. And I'm already loving seeing the brown with this look. And for lipstick, I'm going to take this Runaway liquid lip from Blend Bunny. I think this is what I want. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. It's honestly such a crime that Blend Bunny only made like 6 or so shades of this formula because it's so good. Oh, I just love a brown lip. Are you ready to hear my speech where I tell you that everyone looks good in a brown lip? So please try it if you haven't. I love a brown lip on everyone. Here's the third look complete. I love it. I feel like it's so earthy and muted. And I love that I was able to get this sort of a look out of a very in-your-face Christmas palette. I like these very grungified, earthy accents that are in this palette. I'm very pleased with it. I like the brown lip combo. I just love this. I think it's so pretty. I had a lot of fun creating it, but we still have more fun to go. Let's get into this fourth and final look. Look number 4. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be diving into the Ozzy Osbourne palette. I'm super pumped. I have a vision in mind. I wanna do something that's kind of like these plums blended into the red, blended into this yellow shade. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe like sunset vibes-esque with those colors. We're just gonna see what happens. As far as my accessory details go, this is just an old basic choker, and these earrings used to be plugs from Love Kills Boutique that I turned into earrings. And my eyes are already primed with that DD Signature primer, so I'm just gonna dive right in. I'm gonna start with this Down to Earth shade first. I'm just using this pencil brush from the Jolie Beauty and Aussie collection, and I'm just gonna really stamp this in the outer part of my eye, kind of like that, just kind of bringing it up in a bit of a diagonal and also dragging it a little bit on the outer corner of the lower lash, and then sort of just connecting it out here, just for like a nice heavy outer corner area. Now taking Ozfest, this bright, bright red. It's always awkward and weird holding gigantic palettes. But I'm going to take this slightly larger, slightly fluffier, but still kind of a dense brush from the Jolie Aussie collection. And I'm just going to start placing that kind of right around the edges of that purple. I'm not dragging it out terribly far because I want there to be lots of room for me to blend with that yellow, but just kind of lightly scooting that around just to start stretching it out a bit more. I think these are looking really good so far. So now taking number 9, this sort of like sunflower yellow shade. I'm gonna use this small blending brush from the Aussie brush set, and I'm just going to start blending that along those edges as well. I feel like adding this yellow into the mix is just gonna add such a good ending to this gradient. Oh yes, this is definitely giving sunset eye. I feel like I haven't done this sort of a color scheme in a while, actually. Just that traditional like purple, red, yellowy sort of combo. It's really, really pretty. Ooh, I like this a lot. This is gorgeous. These mattes are performing beautifully. Taking my Shine On Shimmer Primer now to start working on some shimmer. I want to do a little bit of like a purpley orangey combo on the lid, and then probably a red shimmer on the lower lash line, just because I can't be stopped. So for the main lid, I want to do a combination of Sabbath and Scream. Scream has kind of like a cool shift. It's like kind of orangey and then kind of rosy, even a little green sometimes. It's a cool shifty one. But starting with Sabbath, that purple, I just want this to be on the outer half of my lid so that this can kind of blend into all those mattes that I laid down and also kind of intensify that kind of plumminess that I laid down originally. Ooh, yes, I like that. Just kind of blending that purple into all those mattes. I think this is turning out so cool. Now taking that Scream shade. Ooh, that is so pretty. Ooh, yes. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love that. That's really, really dimensional. That's so pretty. That looks like I just put like 4 different shadows on my lid. Wow. Just want to make sure the edges of that is blending nicely too. Ooh, I love it. I'm gonna take that beautiful metallic red now, and I want to add a little of that to the lower lash line. Taking this B2 pencil brush from Blend Bunny, just doing a little scooting of that in the front half of the lower lash line, and I want it to just blend in toward all those mattes. I feel like this red down here just really helped tie together all those mattes in the outer corner too. I am just loving how this look is coming together. This is so pretty. What a good finale for this video. And finally, I'm just gonna take this sparkly white shade for my inner corner. Just gonna pack that in and make sure it just drags kind of toward that lower lash line shade and also toward my lid shade. It's a very, very bright highlighty shade. I really enjoy that. Threw on my little lash clusters, added a little bit of a wing, added a couple face gems, and I'm just in love with this look. I think it's so pretty and dimensional. I love the way these different tones are playing together. The shimmers are gorgeous. And I think I want to do a metallic red lip. I know I debated that for one of the previous looks. I think it was look number 2. And I think this look really calls for it as well. I feel like I want to pay kind of a nod to the metallic red that's on my lower lash line. So I'm going to do the Melt Pennywise combo from the Welcome to Derry collection. Speaking of which, I've seen the first episode of Welcome to Derry. I'll probably seen the second by the time this video goes up, but loving it so far. It's weird and wonderful, and I'm so excited. But I'm going to start by lining with that red pencil, red balloon. Taking the Pennywise metallic red lip now, and let's top it over. Yes, I love the red lip with this look. I love all the metallic things that are going on. This is making me quite happy, I must say. Here is the 4th and final look complete. I just love the way it all came together. I love how bold and vibrant it is. It's just such a fun play on these colors. I'm so enchanted by these shimmers. I'm so pleased with this. This was such a great way to end this video. But yeah, that's about it. Let's zoom out now and I'll give you my thoughts so far on all 4 of these. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun in this video. I feel like all of my looks were just so different. I feel like they were all just so much fun to play with. I had great experiences with these formulas, and it was fun. It was fun. It was creative. I just love playing with eyeshadow. It's just always such a great time. I'm loving the Submerged palette by Artitude. This may be my favorite one they've done, just because I'm very much a sucker for these sorts of colors, and I just think it's so rich and so pretty. I love how much depth these jewel tones have. It's just, oh, yummy. It is a yummy palette. And I just always get excited about this brand. I think they come out with really cool stuff. The Come Play With Us is such an exciting launch. I love spooky stuff and I love the holiday season, so a spooky holiday palette is just so fun. I love this very icy, wintry color story. I think it's very, very fun. So many pretty shimmers. Bella Beauté Bar just has top tier shimmers. They are so good. I think they're just so sparkly and reflective and shifty, and the mattes are so easy to work with and easy to blend. And I just think this is gorgeous. I love a wintry vibe, and I think this is super cool. I think this was just a fun concept in general. The German Christmas Markets palette by Nomad Cosmetics is just so cute. Also leaning into like that holiday sort of color scheme, but this one's a lot more in your face, classic, traditional Christmassy vibes. I really like though how muted some of these shades can get. Like I really like these more muted, like green and khaki shades. I think they're really, really pretty. I think they offset nicely with some of these more bold, bright pops. Nomad just does such a fun job, and I'm really, really excited about it. I love a classic holiday theme. I just never get sick of it. And the Ozzy Osbourne palette, I just had such a great time with. And not that I'm surprised per se, because I have had good experience with their more recent larger palettes, but just actually diving in and playing with this one, it just really made me happy. I feel like everything just performed so well. I feel like the shimmers kind of just took me even more by surprise in a good way. I was just really happy with the way everything performed and played together. In general, I do prefer a smaller palette, but I will say, compared to like some of the recent tiny palettes that Jolie Beauty came out with versus these larger palettes they're more likely to do, I tend to have a better experience with their larger palettes. So even though this isn't my preference of size for a palette, they're doing a good job with it. I feel like they do a good job really adding some good variety. Like even though there's like similar tones throughout all of this creating this gradient, I don't feel like any of the shades in here are exact dupes of one another. Could I have personally lived without like all the browns? Yeah, but that's just me. Overall though, this was beautiful to play with. I found the shimmers just to be so enchanting, so shifty. The mattes blended so nicely. Everything was so bold and pigmented and beautiful. And if you're someone who really likes to play with neutrals as well, this is such a good balance of those bold colors with neutrals, especially if you're into these warmer shades, kind of that sunset eye sort of vibe, you know? But overall, I think it's safe to say that I had a great experience with all of these palettes in this video. I just had a lot of fun. And I also hope you had fun watching. I would love to hear your thoughts just on these palettes, on these looks. Which look was your favorite, by the way? Usually I ask that sooner. Which look was your favorite? I genuinely don't know if I can pick. I feel like I just became almost more and more excited as the video went on. Not even because I was liking one look more than the other, but just because I was liking all of the looks. I feel like every single time I did a look, I was like, this is just so great. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I liked them all for such different reasons. So you'll have to let me know what your favorite is. If you made it to the end of this video, pick your favorite palette from this video and leave emojis to represent that palette. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. I'm battybean over there. And you can also subscribe if you want to see more videos. You're also welcome to hop over to my second channel linked in my description box if you want additional content, and also my description box is a link to my channel memberships. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep watching, I'll pop a similar one on the screen. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one.